Ah.
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 Aha.
Ah.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, everybody. Enough of that nonsense. Welcome, everyone. This is the second of our end of year wraps, is it not, Mr. Jones?
That is correct.
Fantastic. If you want to do the first theme, we'll be doing another live stream on that
Soon.
soon. I'm not sure of the dates right now. You can also catch up with the old recording of the one that we did the other day by going to the YouTube channel. I'm sure you all know where that is. We're on there all the time. We're on there right now, in fact.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have a smorgasbord of activities for you today.
It's next week.
Huh? It's next week.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I want to be professional. Now, next Thursday, we've also got Wimbledon next Wednesday. We've got a live lesson for Wimbledon. There's two different live lessons on next week.
Very nice. Right. Let's get on with the rules, as always. Number one, pause it if you want. This one will be a nice leisurely one today. I'm looking forward to it. It's a very artistic one today, which is not our normal strategy, I think. But since it's the end of term, I mean, we are artistic. Of course, we're artistic, just like all of you guys too. But because it's the end of term, we're doing fun stuff. That's what the end of term is all about. Fun stuff, DVDs, sports day, trips out, go in the zoo, ice cream, all those.
Working hard till the last day. Come on, Tom.
Working hard till the last day. Yes, well, there you go. We'll pause this if you want. We're going back and forth between myself on the browser and Mr. Jones on the iPad. You'll see two examples of absolute excellence going on.
Hey, it's our first ever lesson with the brand new homepage.
Oh, that's big news.
Yeah,
we should have led with that.
Yeah,
we should have led with that. You'll see it all. You've probably already seen it because you should be logged into Express. Anyway, number two, Jones.
Yeah, so at about 4 p.m. this afternoon, teachers, you will receive an email from Mr. Trainer over there. And in that email, there's a certificate for everybody who's taken part today, whether you've done one activity or both, doesn't matter, certificate for you. However, if you haven't registered and you've just hopped onto the YouTube live stream, naughty, you need to register by going to adobe.ly/live lessons. Do that right now and you'll get the follow-up email at about 4 p.m. Also on that email, there's information about Express School Challenge, which is our third thing to remember. Dom, tell us more about that whilst you take a swig of your tea.
I would love to. It's my favorite. So if you do a challenge from any of the live lessons that we do, or in fact, anything that's kind of any of the tutorials on the website and things like that, if you do that with at least 3 classes or 100 pupils, whatever's easiest for you, then you can send in some evidence and we'll send you free swag.
Wow.
And also, if you do that 3 times,
triple swag.
Triple swag. Yeah, you also get swag again and you get pizza. And if you get towards the end of term, you better do that fast because we'll send you out a voucher to go and get some pizza and then you can all stuff your faces for the end of term. Yeah. Rocks. Right.
Pineapple on pizza, Dom, yes or no?
Yeah. Ketchup on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely. Ketchup on anything.
Mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too. Love it.
Brown sauce?
Oh, no. That's a big no. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right. Let's have a look, see what we're doing today. So, end of your wrap, here is the page, adobe.ly/25 wrap 2. Wrap 2. And if you're on an iPad, you can scan this QR codey thingy with your camera app. It'll open up a little yellow box, give it a tap, and it'll come up. This page will come up for you. Teachers, you can click this button at your leisure, and it will take you down to the bottom section where it'll tell you all about the Express School Challenge and how you can get involved and get free pizza. That's great.
Yeah.
Right. Activity number 1. Here comes the summer. Graphic design. We're going to use the remove background feature, create a color splash effect, and use the amazing color filters in Adobe Express, and then add some striking typography and textured overlays. This is a Meredith Jones special.
I like how you washed your hands of it before we start.
What?
This is nothing to do with me.
maybe. No. And easy does it. Right. Should we get going?
Yeah, come on.
Oh, look at this. Homepage, new
now
stuff,
then.
loads of new stuff. I love it. Now, there's all sorts of different options on here. They're all the same as the ones before. We've just done it. We've just kind of laid it out. We personally have just laid it out in a slightly different way. These are all the hero files. Yeah. Actually, edits. What's on there? That's a bit different. Create, edit.
Yes.
This.
All the old quick actions are in there.
Yeah.
Apart from teachers, if you used to use quick actions to make QR codes, that's actually on the create now because it's create. It's right at the bottom of create if you want to make QR codes.
Oh, yes, there it is.
That's
Exactly
the last one there. Right. Yeah, but otherwise, all the old quick actions are in edit.
Yes, there you go. But I'm actually going to go old school and go to the plus at the top and landscape, I think. I think I fancy doing a landscape one. So I'll give that. It's a 16 by 9. It comes up in here. You can get rid of some of this stuff. And then we'll do, what should we call this?
Summer color splash.
Summer splash. I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Splash. Keep it nice and short. Less typing, more creating. Right. Okay. So, you can choose whatever kind of theme you want for this. But I'm going to go over to media on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to photos, and then I'm going to search photos. And what is one thing that I'm looking forward to doing this summer, Mr. Jones, on around about the 21st of July, sorry.
I don't know.
Surfing.
Surfing. I don't know.
I don't know. Right. So I've gone in here, and what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for one where I can take the person who is surfing and make them into a nice little color splash.
Yeah.
So, this one's not bad. Kind of like that. That's pretty cool. But I think I'll put a few on there and then decide which one I like best.
Yeah.
Nah.
You do want to pick something here that's nice and colorful. Because the whole idea, if you never heard of color splash before, it's kind of this thing that people used to spend hours doing on Photoshop, and we're kind of doing our version of it on Express, where everything's black and white except one part of the picture, which has got that color splash. So, think of a photo that where there's the bit that you're going to keep in color is colorful enough.
Right. Well, you could also put like a little filter on it, though, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can change some things. So I've got this one or that one, and I think I'm going to go for. I think I'll go for the first one I went for. So I'll just delete the other one now. I'm going to select it, and then I'm not going to set it as the background. Would you agree, Mr. Jones?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Don't set it as the background, but I do want to make sure that it fills the canvas. So there is good for me. Okay, what are you going to choose, Jones?
Yeah. So let's set it up. Here it is. It's the home page. Yeah, and we're not going to tap on create a poster because that page is going to be the wrong way around. So we're going to use the get started dot, which is just up here. Give it a tap, and let's go for landscape as Dom showed us. Brilliant. So,
and what are you looking to do this summer?
Yeah, well, I may go flying in a hot air balloon, perhaps. Something.
Oh.
So you could think of, we want something that looks summery, but you want there to be maybe a subject in your photograph. You don't want it to just be a landscape. You want to see something specific. So you could go something like summer car, if you think of some kind of sports car or a car. And you go like a car in summer, especially if it's a really nice kind of colorful car. You could do that.
That first one looked great, I thought.
Or you could do a beach hut because they tend to be quite colorful. Yeah, look, they are colorful.
Oh, nice.
Pick one of those. That's fun. Or like the example that I did for the activity page was a hot air balloon, which also works really well. So maybe I'll do the hot air balloon. So I'll do hot air balloon. There we go. And I like these because obviously hot air balloons tend to be really colorful, so they work really nicely for a color splash. And I'm gonna go for this one where there's kind of a group of hot air balloons flying away.
Very cool.
And as Dom showed us, we don't want to set it to the background because we're going to be duplicating this. And once you set something to the background, you can't duplicate it. So We're going to move it around freely as we're doing right now, but I am going to resize it, resize it so that it fits the canvas. There we go. That's, oh no, I got a little bit of white in the edge. It's just,
You have.
and there we go. I'm done.
Right, nice. Okay, let's remove you and go back here. So now that we've got this image in here, now you can, you could, you know, if I want my surfer dude here to be, you know, more in shot, or, you know, just zoomed in, I can zoom in like that, but I kind of like having the top of the wave as well. But there is pretty cool. Okay, now with it selected, and you know it's selected because you're going to have the blue bounding box around it. Then you're going to go to the 3 dots and you're going to go duplicate. Okay, now you've got 2 of exactly the same thing. And you can see here that I've aligned it. And I know I've aligned it because every single pink line under the sun is in the right place. I've never actually seen that.
No.
I've never seen that. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
And when you duplicate it, guys, top tip, don't resize this picture. You don't want to change the size. Otherwise, it like make things difficult for yourself later on.
Yeah, exactly that. So I know that it's right on top because I've got every single pink line going, which is great. And then the next thing I'm going to do is remove background. Okie dokie. So just click on the top dog here and remove background. I'm hoping it's going to do a fantastic job. Let's have a look. Now, I don't know what happened there because I can't tell what's going on, can I? Because, you know, I've got two of the same image here.
Yeah.
So the only way that we can do something to kind of make it obvious what's happened here is to change this background image. And the way I'm going to do that is by making sure it's selected in my layer stack. So that's the top one. That's the bottom one. Okay, so you want the bottom one. You want to change the bottom one. And then I'm going to go to Effects. And then as soon as I start changing it, you'll start to see that only the background image is changing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. You could do this, something like this. Oh,
yes. That's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool, isn't it? And you can play around with the colors here. Or, do you know what? I just think the pink is so good there. And then you could also custom. And then you can see you've got the pink and the yellow in here. So maybe I'll click the yellow and go to custom and maybe, you know, play around with how that is. Yeah, maybe just a tad lighter, because I think the more you play around with it, the more you actually see the kind of the spray of the wave in the background. So you can play around. Oh man, that is chunky. Like it. That's pretty cool. I'm loving that. Cool. Right, Jones, let's see what you've got going on.
Oh, you've set the bar high there. Right, okay. So here's my balloons. So I'll tap on it and I'm going to duplicate this. So to duplicate this image, we just tap on the 3 dots in the little pop-up menu above or below your image. And then I'm going to choose duplicate. It's the 3rd option. So here's my copy of the balloon. And what I'm going to do with this is remove the background. I only want one of these balloons. And you could choose, you can choose which one you want. I'm probably going to keep the biggest one. So let's just hit remove background and see what happens. Because what is Express going to do? Is it going to keep all of the balloons? Is it going to keep just one of the balloons? We don't know. But I'm going to wait.
We don't know. The suspense.
I know. How exciting. Right. So there we go. I think it's kept them all. So now I just need to crop out the ones I don't want. So I'm going to use the long side handle. You see, I'm just cropping that off like that. Now, if the bits you want to get rid of are more complicated than that, you could use the erase tool, which is up there on the top left next to the remove background tool. But for me, just cropping was fine, just to make the box smaller to get rid of the balloons that I don't want. Right, so now I've got this floating extra balloon. And I didn't resize it, if you remember, which means that I can just easily place that exactly on top of the original balloon. If I'd resized it, then it would be a bit of a faff to try and get that exactly in the right place and the right size. Okay, so what Dom showed us then is that we're going to use the amazing filters built into Express. So I'm going to tap now on my background image, and up here I'm going to tap on effects. So let's go to effects. Now then, you've got the filters. Now I'm going to go to view all here because you've got different categories of photo filters. So for mine, I'm going to make my background black and white. Okay, so I've got my background selected, and here in the filters, we've got the black and white category. So you can go to bright black and white. You can try that. You can go to
sepia looks good.
Standard, matte, sepia.
Oh, sepia. Okay, sepia.
Yeah, and noir, charcoal.
Ooh.
So there's some really cool different effects there. And I think I'm going to go for noir. That's very cool. And you can even decide how strong you want that effect to be by tapping on it again. And then you've got this little slider here where you can slide up and down to choose how strong you like that effect to be. Now, I'm not done. I'm also going to do the same with the balloon itself, the colored balloon. Let's bring in a filter that makes those colors pop even more. So choose the balloon, go into effects. And I'm going to go again into filters, view all. And this time I'm going to go and I'm going to have a look at maybe the vibrant or maybe the mood or even maybe the retros. These are cool. Like a soft pastel one. That's really nice. But I'm pretty sure that for this, I'm going to want to go to vibrant. I think, yeah. Go vivid. And you can see they all have their own different kind of feel. I think radiance is what I'm going to go for today.
Radiant.
There we go.
Nice.
There is my color splash. And it's definitely on the way and going well. Right. It's coming next.
Okie dokie. Right. So I just had a little play around and I liked it. Right. So let me just go back. Right. So what I'm going to do here is a cool little trick. So you have to make sure that you've selected your top layer, and you can make sure that you know that you've selected your top layer by making sure it's selected over here in your layer stack. And this is, I'm going to go off script here. So what you'll see is that if you go to the three dots here and press duplicate. Oh. And then three dots and duplicate. Ooh. And three dots and duplicate. Ooh. You can see, look at this. It's like a slow-mo kind of long. Is it long exposure? No, like shutter speed to the max kind of thing going on here, and I love it. And then what you can do here is you've got four bros on a surfboard here. So you can select one, go to effects, and then you could go to view all in filters, and maybe you can't really see in here, but you can play around with like golden hour. Second one, effects, and then maybe go to like colorize. Nah, not that one. Tint, yeah. And then I'm gonna go to the third one, and I'm gonna go into filters, and I'll go sunbath. Yeah, why not? And then the fourth one, effects, and then maybe on this one I'll go to what am I looking for? I'm looking for maybe a black and white one, bright black and white. Yeah, nice. So we've got like a cool effect going on here, and it won't work on everything, but the reason why it works on this one so well is because that's kind of showing the forward motion there of our surf bro.
Yeah,
so there we go. Right, shall I put some text on?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so let's go to T for text on the left hand side. Add your text, and I'm gonna put some what am I gonna put? I'm gonna put surfs up exclamation mark. Right. I'm gonna put this up here, maybe there, like that, on a bit of an angle, make it a bit bigger. Now this is where the Jones machine steps up. And what we're looking for here is we're looking for, is it an outline one on here or one of the ones below?
Only outlines on the ones below, but they will outline on this one too. Yeah, I think it's.
But they have to be in the same font family, don't they?
Just the same font, just exactly the same, but with no color fill on the ones below. That's what I think.
Right. Okay. So let's look for a radical kind of. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Is it good enough?
Niglet.
Yeah, I know. See, you can select it and then press on the kind of wavy lines here, and it'll give you ones that look almost exactly the same, usually.
Yeah.
So maybe this, that one's kind of
that's
nice.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, that one's kind of nice.
That's cool. Fuzzy bubbles.
Yeah, Fuzzy Bubbles Bold. I'm into that. Fuzzy Bubbles Bold is the one I'm doing. Right. So what kind of color should I go with here? Well, there's only bold in this font family. That's okay. So what I'll do is I will go to the fill color, give it a click, and then maybe what I'll try and do is use my dropper tool. Now you'll lose sight of my dropper tool once I click on it, but what I'm going to do is click it and then hover over the pink down here. That's the kind of color I'm looking for. And then, there we go. You see,
Nice.
and it's there. Exquisite.
Mm.
And then I was thinking I could put an outline on it, but that's not going to work because we want to take it off later, don't we?
No, that's outline's fine. I think I'm going to have an outline on it.
Okay. So maybe go to swatches and maybe a white outline. Maybe I don't want it to be quite so white. Maybe I'll look for one of the brighter yellows on my thing. Well, that's kind of the same, isn't it? Maybe I look for one of the darker ones. Yeah, none of this is working particularly how I envisaged. Anyway, if I bring that outline up, I wonder if you can tell. You can tell.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Right, that's the first bit of text I'm doing. We'll get Jonesy doing his before we move on to incredible effects. You've got to present again, I think. It's lost your iPad.
Oh, dear me.
Dear me.
What's going on? Right. Present, share screen, right on. Yes, here we go. Right, there we go. No, then, wonder what happened there.
There you go.
Right, here we go. So let's get some text in. So T for text on the left-hand side. And then we're going to add your text up here at the top. And let's just type something. Here comes summer. Right. There we go. You could push that onto 3 lines or 2 lines. You could center it up by using the alignment button that's here, maybe something like that. You could even go in and use a dynamic text layout if you fancy that. I'm just going to keep it like this, I think. Now then, fonts. Let's find a really cool font here. So I'm going to drop this down. I'm just going to scroll, stop. And let's just see. Oh, that's a cool one. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a lovely font. Right. Now then, with that, let's just sort my lines out again. There we go. And I like Dom's rotation, so I'm going to copy him. There we go. This. And now then, let's sort out our colors. So, using colors from your design is a great idea. So I'm going to go and I'm going to choose the fill colors. That's this little black square next to me here. Give that a tap. And you could go to more colors and try finding a color, but I want to use that eyedropper, the pipette that's up at the top of the fill window. Give that a tap. Now then, with this circle, I can drag it around and pick a color. So what's one of the most obvious colors on the balloon is this red, this lovely kind of bright red, kind of nearly like a coral, isn't it? So I'm going to tap on that, let it go. Cool. Now, let's put an outline on this. So I'm going to just bring up the outline thickness all the way to the top. And the color, it just kind of picks a darker version of whatever you've already got. So I don't want that. Maybe I'm going to go for just pure black here because I've got that black background, or I could go for white. I think black works best there. Okay, and then my final thing I'm going to do with this is I'd like summer to be closer to here comes. So I'd like the lines to be closer. So I'm just going to go on the left-hand side to the 3 dots. You can see there I can change the line spacing. So let's just tuck that up a little. Nice. Like that. Right, position. I think it works quite nicely, overlapping a little bit over the balloon about there. There we go.
Very nice. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you show us the next bit, because I was playing around and you have to be careful with layers, and I wondered whether you had like a better system for that.
Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so what we can do, it's a similar technique to what Dom just did with his surfer, where we're going to duplicate. Because when you duplicate things on Express, the new copy of it always goes the same distance away from the original one. So if you duplicate a few times over and not move it, it actually gives you this cool kind of 3D effect. So let's try it with this text box. So I'm going to choose my text, and I want to duplicate it. When it's duplicated, I'm not going to move it. Okay, I'm going to go 3 dots, duplicate. Okay, cool. So that's my copy. Now I need to bring that underneath the first text box. So you can see all the way over there, you've got the layer stack. So I need to bring the text box that's at the top underneath the other one. So just swap them around like that. Now that's already cool. But what I want to do is I want only the front one to be the main bit of text. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the fill out of all of the other ones. So the one that the new one is still selected. You know, it's still selected because that's what.
Even though it's underneath, it's still selected, isn't it?
Still unselected, yeah. So what I want to do is just get rid of the fill. So right next to me here, I'm going to tap on the kind of coral colored square, which is the fill color, and I'm just going to choose no fill, which is the white box with a red slash through it. And now we've just got the outline and not the fill. And here you can decide what you want to do. Now, if you're doing the black and white thing like I'm doing, maybe you could decide that every repeated text box is a lighter shade of gray every time. So maybe this one is going to be in the darkest possible gray on the top row of colors there. Oh, sorry, this is the fill again. Sorry. We need to change the outline color. So tap on the outline box and choose that. Or another fun thing to do would be to pick different colors from the balloon material. So you go and pick the light blue, the dark blue, the paler red, the darker red. You know, you could definitely use those colors. Maybe I'm going to go for this black and white thing here because I think it might work quite nicely because my background is so black and white. I'll do that one more time. And I think I'm going to do it maybe 3 or 4 times. You don't need to go nuts with this, you know? So when you do it the next time, duplicate the one that you've just been working on. Otherwise, you're going to have to remove the middle of it every time. All right, so I've got that selected, 3 dots. And now when it duplicates, it's going to offset the same amount again. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and now I'm just going to bring that down in the layer stack and change the color of the outline to 1 step paler again. Okay? And you can just keep on doing it, duplicate. So you're always duplicating the one that you've just finished working on. Okay, and
always duplicate and bring it down in the stack.
Yeah, and that's what's going to put it in the right offset all of the time. Well, I've nearly finished, so I may as well do one more now. So I've got my third one there, duplicate it one last time. There it is. Bring it down in the layer stack and then change the outline color to an even paler gray.
Nice. It's like fading out into the distance.
Yeah, I could even go with a white, couldn't I, on the bottom one? Oh, why not? Let's do it then. Go on then. I think we got time today. Duplicate, bring that down, and let's change that outline color to white.
Nice. Okay, let me have a stab at that. Great. Okay, so I've got my text here. Now, one thing I thought was, Jones did it before as well, where I thought my letters were too far apart. So I've got it selected. I've got this 3 dots button here, and then I can bring down the letter spacing, just kind of make it all bunch up a little bit. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now that I've got that, the idea is I'm going to go to the 3 dots, duplicate. Right. Now you can see that the duplication is on top of my main text, if you'd like to call it that. So I'm going to click it and then I bring it underneath. Now it's still selected, which is good. And what we want to do is we want to change that fill to no fill.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And then we can change the outline color. And then maybe I'll go into custom here. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of keep sliding it along a little bit to the left, because I'm going to do 4 of them. And eventually my last one will be white.
Oh, nice.
So that's the first one. So done. And then it's still selected, that one underneath, I'm going to go to 3 dots, duplicate. It's taking it down and to the right, which is good. And it means I've got no, well, actually, it's giving me a white fill, which is odd. Let's go to a no fill. And then let's go to the outline, custom, bring it along a little bit more. Oh, but I still need to bring it down on my layer stack. Don't forget that. That was a crucial step. I need to bring that one down. Nice. And then with that selected, go to 3 dots, duplicate. And then this is the new one. So bring that down in the stack. And then go over here, outline, maybe make that kind of like nearly white, not quite white. Nice. Now I'm not necessarily that chuffed with some of the colors on here, and I wonder, multicolor. I like it. And then I can select the one on the right hand side. So I mean, I guess you can just go wild. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Maybe something like there.
Yes. So paler colors are going to help the main writing to stand out more, isn't it?
Yeah. So maybe I'll make this one slightly paler as well. Yeah, that's nice.
That's
cool. I'm really pleased with that. That's worked out really well. Sup. Cool. Right. What else could we do with this?
All right. Okay. Well, now then, this is quite interesting because at the moment, if you look at my photo, it's like it looks too much like, oh, you've just plonked a sticker of a colored balloon on top of a black and white photo. It doesn't feel like it's the same photograph. So we want to add some elements that's going to make this feel like it's one photo. Okay. And here's where the overlays and the design assets can help us out. What can we do to kind of bring all this together? We've got all these different elements. Think of it like a Sunday lunch, and this is the gravy we're going to put on the plate. It's going to bring it all together. Okay, we got our meat, we got our potatoes, we got a bit of veg, but it's not a lunch yet. It's not a Sunday lunch until it's all.
Tell you what, that's a first. That is the first. This is a Sunday lunch.
So here we go. Here's what's going to just pull it all together. Is some stuff that makes it feel like one design. So here we go. And you can do this. You can add loads of layers to help you do this. It's not just a one-stop shop. So let's go to elements on the left-hand side and into the design assets. Now, I love going in the design assets. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. And you can search or you can just scroll all the way down and you'll see things like textures and overlays. So let's go to textures. Let's tap on view all in textures. Okay, and we've got some things in here like distressed. You've got ink and paper is maybe a good place to start. So let's go to paper and let's find, here we go, wrinkled and folded paper. That sounds good. Or maybe the subtle paper textures. Let's give this a whirl. Now then, some of these are so subtle you can hardly see anything at all on them here. So let's just try one out. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. And if you don't like it, you can delete it and pick something else. And I'm going to pick something that barely looks as if there's much going on when we're looking at it on the left-hand side. Something maybe like this one. There we go. Now then, you can't see it very clearly. It's right there in the middle. I'll just move it up to the top. There you go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Scratch kind of folded paper. So I'm just going to bring the size up on that so that it covers my whole page. And now we've got these kind of scratches, but the scratches are now going across. Some of the scratches are going across from the black and white background onto the colored balloon. And immediately it starts kind of giving this whole thing, if you know the posh word for it, it starts giving this image cohesion. It starts feeling like one big thing rather than a few separate bits plonked on the page. Now, I love those scratches. I think it's a bit over the top. So I am going to tone it down a little bit. Okay, so to tone it down, just need to make it a little bit less obvious. I'm going to go to opacity over here. And just bring the opacity down. Okay, bring the opacity down. There we go. You could go all the way to 0 if you wanted, and then slowly bring it back up and stop when you think you've got enough. Or you can stop 100% and bring it down until you feel that you've got enough. Now, the top tip with these overlays is to not leave it with one. Okay, do it with add a few different overlays in. something like, I'll do one more for you right now before we pass back to Dom. Something like, if we back out of all of these, back in the design assets, what about some tape residue? Now then, tape residue. So, oh, brilliant. Let's just put tape. Well, they used to be there. So, I want something to look like there used to be sellotape on this page, and then somebody kind of pulled it off and left a bit of the glue behind. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So if you just scroll through, you got some of these kind of tape stuff here. You can bring it in. Now that looks like an actual piece of tape. But I can then do the same trick, bring the opacity down, and then we start having this kind of effect of, there we go, there used to be some tape there.
Nice.
We could even go in and look for things like ink stamps. These work really nicely as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so something like this is a cool one.
Oh, that one's great.
You know, and just pop it into a corner like this, or maybe over here. Halfway off a page always looks quite cool. Yeah. And again, bring the opacity down a bit. There we go. Something like that. And again, it's like this is the gravy on the plate. It's just pulling it all together. Right? Give it a whirl.
Nice. Right. I'm gonna. Right. So one thing I thought was when Mr. Jones was doing that overlay, I thought, oh, that makes it look like an old school photograph, like they used to have a border around it. So I thought, well, why don't we try something like that? So I'm going to go to elements. Cool. I'm going to go to shapes, and then I'm going to choose this rectangle here, because it already has like a border on it. I'm going to stick it in there, and you're like, whoa, that doesn't make any sense. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up till it hits the top of everything. Come on, a bit further. Yeah, that's it. And down to the bottom and over to the side. And then I'm going to do border thickness, bring it up. Yeah, about there's good. And then you can see that my fill color is white. And now what I want is nothing. Ooh. But then I want my border. It's got color black at the moment. And I think I'll go into custom here. Maybe bring it over to the sort of yellows. And then bring it so it's kind of almost white, but not quite white, like an old kind of white. Yeah, nice. So I'm making myself like an old school photo inspired by Mr. Jones, who then went to elements. Where did you find your textures? Was it in design assets? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's all in design assets.
Did you go overlays or textures?
I went into textures. I tell you what worked nicely for you, Dom, is a film burn. If you just go search for film, just search for film burn. So you know, like old school. Yeah, there we go. So you pop one of those over it all, and then you could play around with one of the blend modes. It'll work really nicely with.
Ooh, this is interesting. Look at this. And then, so now that that's done, I might go to opacity here. I wonder if screen.
Yeah.
Screen for the win.
Multiply would probably work nicely as well.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm going to warm it up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like that. And then you kind of, wow.
And it's not obvious, is it? It's not this big thing in your face. Look at this thing I've added to my page. It's really subtle. But people that are looking at your work know that there's something going on here. There's something cool.
Yeah.
There's something cool going on here. I don't understand it, but I like it.
That's generally how I approach life. I don't understand this thing called life, but something cool's going on. I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. So I like to make it an old school photo. Yeah. And then also maybe you said about putting more than one on. So I'm going to go to that again. And then I'll go to, well, if I go to all and then go down to view all in design assets, take this out. Okay. And then get out of it. And then go to overlays, textures, and then maybe something like this one, and put it on the whole thing. It.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got to go to opacity, bring it right down.
I'll pop that. I'll pop those things up. So we're in design assets, guys, and we searched for film burn. I'll pop it up on screen now.
Yeah.
And another one, if you're searching for something similar, is light leaks.
Light leaks, hey?
Yeah, light leaks.
Very cool. I just bring them. I just selected the border in my right-hand side and just brought it down ever so slightly, so that I could see the bottom of the surfboard there, and that is lovely.
And film burn and light leaks is what used to happen with old school, with like film reel that you used to have in a cinema, and they would spin around. Well, if a movie got played loads and loads of times, eventually the light shining through the film would burn the film,
right,
and would kind of burn some colors and melt some colors. So that's what that's all about. Is film burn, and then a light leak is when, if it wasn't a very good projector, the film wasn't sitting straight, so a bit of light would leak either side of it.
Very cool.
So they're just cool old school retro effects.
Nice.
That happened by accident.
Worked out really nicely. Good job. Right. So if you need to, you can download your image. If you're going to print it out, choose PDF print, and then you can download by pressing that button there. And then also you can share your work by clicking the share button, send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever. Or you can create a view-only link and then press create that link. And then you can send that to whoever you like. Job's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
That was fun.
It was very fun. I love doing stuff like that. Right. Let's go back to the... Should we go back to the activity page?
Yeah, cool. I tell you what we haven't done. We haven't asked anyone for shout-outs today. If you are...
Oh, yeah. Give us a shout-out.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you've got on this week. Are you doing something cool this week, next week? My daughter's school is having a picnic today, which is quite nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, instead of having lunch in the canteen, they're having it out on the field, and they're having a picnic.
Oh, well, there you go. Right.
It's raining at the moment, so there we are. Great.
Best kind of picnic. Right, the next one, activity 2, letter art. Now, this is going to be fun, isn't it, Jones? We love a bit of drawing here. Right, okay, so we're going to create a piece of letter art. So you need to be thinking about, what is your name? Are we going to do what? Because it's going to be your name, your first letter of your name.
Yeah.
Are we going to do one letter or two?
I think one. I think one. And then maybe if we behave, we could combine it with our color splash photo, couldn't we?
Ooh, that's an interesting idea. Okay, good idea. Right. So let's what am I going here? I'm here. Right. Okay. So I've just finished my first activity there. That's just amazing. I love it. And then I'm going to go to the big A in the top here. Click it. Now, you can do this straight from the home page, actually, because if you scroll down.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. The robot. I was not expecting that. The robot, there you go. Create a drawing, give it a click, and this will open up something we don't use very often on these live lessons. I'm going to get rid of this template here, and then I'm going to put like summer letter art or letter art. That's absolutely fine. There we go. Saving your file. Okie dokie. Right. So, oh, look at that. Oh, what's going on?
Oh, well, what happens if we make a mistake, Tom?
Oh, I've no idea. Where's the delete button? Delete. Oh, you can just go to undo here. Look at that.
Yeah. So any mistakes, anything that you do and you're like, oh, there we go, I've ruined my work. Don't worry about it. Just undo.
What happens? What happens if I really like that bit? The only bit I don't like. What happens if I don't want to get rid of it all? Maybe I'll go to my eraser tool, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, you
size
could do that.
Right up, and then you could just go, bosh, kablam, and then it's all gone.
Yeah. Great.
Right. Well, let's go over to brushes. I think we're going to start off. Where am I going to start off? Well, you've got all sorts of stuff.
Multicolor in it. Multicolor,
Multicolor in it. Right. Yeah. So you got loads in here. And basically, there are no rules to this. There are no rules. But the multicolor ones are amazing, like the squiggle. And now that's, you can change the brush size. Boop.
Yeah.
And then you can change a shimmer chord. No, I'm not into that. See if you bring it right. Oh, whoa. What is going on here? This is madness. The rainbow twist.
Now then.
Oh,
we're in a safe place.
That's quite dominant, actually. I'm not going to go with that. It's too dominant. It needs to be a little bit more subtle, something like that. Right. Well, I'm just playing around here. Jones, you get going. Let's see what you've got on the locker.
So basically, guys, you just need to fill your canvas with as much splodge of paint as you want. Okay,
the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. So
the whole thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to tap on the Adobe Express icon in the top left-hand corner here. Takes me back to the home page. And we're going to be drawing. So let's scroll down, find the artistic robot, and click on Create a Drawing. And we're just going to totally fill your canvas with as much fun stuff as you want. Okay. So the multicolor brushes is a good place to start. So I'm going to go into Brush, Multicolor. And because I'm filling the whole thing up, I'm going to go with the biggest size possible brush. And I'm just going to go crazy with this. Bit of magic tube. Lovely. There we go. Bit of chrome ribbon. Okay, so just go. Oh, look at this. Rainbow. I don't even know what that word is.
What's the word?
Surat?
No idea. Answers on a postcard.
That one's cool. And star. So you could put some small ones around, but you could also bring the size up and then put some big ones around with the same brush if you want. Ooh. Now, you don't just have to use the multicolor brushes that are in here, although you can if you want. You could also go into maybe the art supplies. There's some cool stuff in here. One of my favorites, Dom knows, is the French Impressionist brush. Now, if you use these, then you need to pick a color up there in the top. So maybe something like this lovely shade of blue. Again, I'm going to go for a massive brush and I'm just going to fill up these little gaps. Grab another one, maybe the watercolor in this lovely shade of pink. Massive paintbrush. There we go. And I'm just filling it around. So just splodge your entire canvas with different paint. There we go. There's my absolute mess. Ready to move on to the next one.
Let's have a look. What's going on? Right. I'm not necessarily in a better place.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like those. Dom's gone for he's gone down into decorative. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And
bats.
Some cool stuff there.
Yeah, and nice. And you can go into your slider here and you can go to a custom color if you want. What am I looking for? Like a neon pink, something like that, or maybe a bit slightly lighter than that. And then I can use my bats. Maybe if I go to 1,000 on bats. Whoa, nice. And then some pointed stars. Let's go to pointed stars. And then the size going right up is the best, I think. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool, Dom.
Yeah, nice. Oh, yeah, really. I just need one more thing in that bottom corner. Maybe I'll go back to multicolor. What am I going to go for? Which one?
A brick.
a brick. Maybe asterisk. We'll get asterisk back and just do it massive. And just put that down. Oh, no, I've ruined it there.
Oh, absolutely overcooked it, you have.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I've got hang on, bit of cheesy. Oh, you can't actually change the color of the cheesy.
No, the multicolored ones are all a fixed color. But once you're in the art supplies or the decorative, then you can set the colors.
Yeah, there you go. Right, I'm done there now. So, what am I going to do here? I think because you could use a razor or you could use a white brush, couldn't you? But I suppose a razor is the one, isn't it?
I think a razor is because then you could decide to set the background color of this to something different if you use an eraser. So I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to stay with the hard round one. That's absolutely fine. And if you didn't know already, my name's Dom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you can see here.
That your razor is huge.
Yeah, it is huge. Yeah. Because I thought, well, I can put my crosshair there right in the corner and try and follow this line down. So it keeps me honest, you see.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, just slightly overcooked it there. There we go. Nice straight line down there. Straightish.
Cool. Yeah.
Straightish. That's absolutely fine. Right, and then maybe I'll bring it down a little bit now, and then I'll take it around. So I'm going to have to do the belly of the D. So let's go around here. Oh man, whoops. Hang on, what am I even doing here? This is not even right, is it? Because I want maybe. Oh, do you know what? The best way to do it is to kind of make a box. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Make a box. So we'll make a box first.
And then kind of chisel it away.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
you can.
Something happened on my keyboard there.
You can snap to shape as well. If you want a curve, if you draw the curve and then pause and hold your finger down, it'll give you a perfect curve. You know when you're doing your D.
Oh, there you go. You see? That was nice. So I'm clicking down on my touchpad and dragging across. And before I let go,
it won't. It'll do it. Yeah, because you went back there. It was like
true.
Know what kind of shape you're trying to make. So if you kind of straight lines or curves, then it'll snap.
There you go. Nice. And maybe I can. I mean, I could just try and do it down here as well, just to kind of get it in the right spot. Wait. Yeah, nice. Well, it's giving me a bit of an angle. That's all right. That's cool. All right, that's the bit that I'm at now. Let's get Jones on there, making his kind of block before he goes into his initial.
So yeah, let's grab the eraser then on the left-hand side. Hard round, or you could even go for a square eraser, I suppose, if you wanted to. And I'm going to do that same as Dom did. So I'm going to start in the top left. I'm going to go across to the top right. And when I get to the end, I'm going to just keep my finger pressed down. Like that. And there we go. See, it snaps it. And even change the angle of it then if you want.
Yes.
Okay. And it works really well for curves. So when Dom's on the D, when you do something like that and just keep your finger held down, there we go. It'll snap it and you can resize it then. But I'm going to undo that because my name doesn't start with the D. All right.
You can resize it. Oh, you can resize it as well. That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
So you start off, because what's great about doing this is once you kind of cut your edges off, like we're doing now, it makes you feel as if you're a sculptor. We've got this instead of we've got this big block of color, and we're going to need to chip away at it to sculpt our letter. So I need to think about the letter M. The letter M. Okay, and I could even, you could even help yourself out a bit here by sketching what you're going to do. Okay, so for example, I could go and then undoing it. So if I could just go to the basic hard round brush in black and say, right, how am I going to make an M here? Okay, so my M is going to kind of do that. That's my plan. Okay, and now let's just undo that and let's do that again. And that's just helping me to see in my mind's eye how I'm going to make this M. So I know now, right, I need to just basically leave the bottom alone in the corners. I need to come down on the top and I need to make that little V in the top. And then I need to sort the bottom out. So let's get rid of my M. And now let's start sculpting it with the eraser tool.
Like a sculptor.
Yeah. And
Michelangelo.
And I'm just going to go, right, so we had this kind of thing here going on. Something like that. And then we had something the same going on the opposite side, like this. I'm just going to hold my finger down, and it's going to snap. There we go. And my line's going to be straight. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So because I'm happy with that, let's bring up the eraser size, not brush, sorry. Bring up the eraser size. And now let's just get rid of those bits that I didn't want. And now let's bring down the eraser size again. And let's think about that top. So I need this kind of V shape like that. Let's try that again.
Suppose you could do one line and then make it straight and then do the next line.
Yeah. It'll actually snap a V for you.
Oh, wow.
There we go. That's done.
Nice.
And now I can kind of start thinking about the, I'm there now, and I'm cooking now. So let's just bring this down. I'm winning now, Dom. This
Further. Oh.
and you can snap it, change your angle.
Just got to make sure you keep your finger down.
Yeah, keep your finger down. You see, and then you can adjust. There we go, something like that. So then I just need to get rid of that. Maybe I'm going to do something cool with those bottom edges. Maybe round them off, perhaps. There are some cool erasers in here, like this zigzag one. You could even play around with that and do something like, like this at the bottom.
Yeah, lovely.
Cool. So just try that. Or the spacer one is cool with those dots. So just play around with the different erasers, and remember, if you don't like it, just undo it. Right? There's my M cut out.
Very cool.
I do like that zigzag one at the bottom. I think that's
yeah,
right.
Nice.
How are you getting on?
Let's have a look. Right, so I just gone straight back to the start again, and what I'm going to do is hard round brush, somewhere in the middle. That's fine. Get it there, and let's make a good job of this. Right, so I'm going to click, hold my finger down, and then track down on the pad, and then just wait. Come on. Oh, didn't do it.
I think you had a little bump halfway down, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Make it one straight motion without a pause, if you can.
There you go. And then I can, play around with that. That's about straight there. Nice. And then I'm going to come up to the top, and I'm going to just do the sweep. I'm going to do the sweep for the D.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to click and go all the way around. Oh, that's absolutely dreadful.
But it doesn't matter. There we go.
Yeah, you can kind of do it like that.
Yeah, cool.
Something like that. I mean, do you know what? I'm going to do it again because...
that was great, I thought.
Yeah, I know, but I want to get all the way around. So I'm going to go make sure that my finger starts right at the edge of the trackpad, and then come all the way around. Ooh, dodgy. Something like there. And then wait. I think it's because I had that little blip halfway through. Let's go all the way around. Yeah, nice.
It almost works better when you do a rush job of it, doesn't it? And
I know. It does. It really does. So that is good. It's a bit of a strange looking D, but it'll do.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's got a bit of life. And then we've got some bits in the corners, so I'll just get rid of those. And then, the dissolve, the zigzag. Oh, the possibilities are endless. Maybe I'll go for the zigzag. And then, nah. I'm not into it. I'm just going to keep it nice and natural like that. That's nice. I'm loving it.
You're going to cut the middle out?
Oh, yeah, of course. Right. So, hard round brush. Bring that size up.
Oh, up.
You think? Oh, maybe down. Let's have a look. We'll do a little one. D. Does that going to make it look like a D?
Yeah, you could just make a dot, couldn't you, I suppose? Yeah.
Well, I suppose you could also go the hard round brush, and then... There is a square one. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go click and go down.
Yes. Right. Yes.
And then click and go around.
Pause at the end. Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. and then you can do the middle.
That's cool. I like that.
Nice. Do you know what? I haven't used drawing in ages. That's made me happy. That's great. Yeah, there's also a little bit in the corner there, but I'll leave that for a bit of character. There we go. How can we bring this into our graphic that we made for Activity 1?
Yeah, now if we can do that, then you could bring it in with this white background, and that's absolutely fine. But if we're going to try it, we may as well make the background of this canvas transparent. So go to background color. And then if you go to swatches, you should have the white box with the red there, there in your background color.
Yeah. Well, it actually this one here. Well, you can
just go up instead of custom. There we go. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. So that is now done. That's a free floating agent of chaos.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And then we can go back in Express.
Yeah.
Then we could go to your stuff, or you can go to recent, which is down here at the bottom here. But if
Yeah.
you want to, you can go to your stuff and it'll be, come on, you can do it. It'll be
Summer
this one, the Summer Splash. Bring it in here. And then,
Yes.
hey presto, if you go
I
to
love-
your stuff, and then
There
it'll
it
be
is.
there. Give it a click. Oh,
Oh man. Now you can put effects.
nice.
You can put effects on these. So you could
Ooh.
duplicate and put your different effects like you did with a dude on it if you wanted to.
Oh, you mean like duplicate it and do it going
Yeah.
down 4 times? You could, couldn't you?
I think so. I've never tried it, but I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah. I also wonder whether because it's a linked asset, if you put the background back in, it would come, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So let's go to the 3 dots, duplicate, bring that one down. 3 dots, duplicate, bring that one down. And 3 dots, duplicate. And that's gone a little bit too far now. But what I might do is select those, but then press Shift and deselect that. Oh, that's not really worked. Right, how am I gonna get out of this? Right, let me zoom out a bit. What I want to do is I want to
Maybe just click on the and hold shift down and click on everyone.
Yeah, 2, 3, and I think there's one in there somewhere. It's left one out. That's annoying. Right, let's go back. Oh, do you know what? Right, which one's on top? That one. Okay. So
I reckon you
shift,
deleted
2,
3 of them.
3, 4. Is that going to take? No, it's always got.
Just
Right.
delete. Just do it again with one. Come on.
Okay. Right, I need to make it a bit smaller, I think. So I'll just do a bit smaller there, and I'll put it there, and then go 3 dots, duplicate, 3 dots. Oh, and then move it down the stack, so it goes behind, and then 3 dots, duplicate, move it down in the stack, so it goes be. Oh no, that wasn't the right one. It was this one. There we go. And 3 dots and duplicate. Bring it down in the stack. And then you could always play with like opacity, so it goes 12 opacity, 29, this one, opacity 77, something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Got a little stamp on there. Nice. Look at that.
Oh,
love it. Right, let's get you on there.
It was chaotic at the beginning. The finished product is very nice. Lovely job,
cool.
Tom. Right. Okay. Oh, I forgot to change the background to be thingy. Doesn't matter. Let's go back in and do it. Right. My bad. Right. So you could keep the white background and you could crop it to a circle.
I think it would be nice with the white background, actually.
Yeah. Don't want it though. So I'm going to go back. Oh, swatches. I don't have my see-through box, so I will have to go to custom. Funny. So I'll have to go to custom and just bring the opacity all the way down. Okay, this little slider here. Okay. Right. Okay, back I go. Let's bring this in to my balloon design. So that's down there at the bottom of the screen. You can see my recent files. So if I choose my balloon, there we go. It's going to open that up. And now we want to bring in my letter art. So I'm going to go to your stuff. It's right up here in the top left, your stuff. And you don't need to search for it because it'll be the last but one thing that you opened up. Because this project I'm in right now is the most recent one. So there it is there. So bring that in, tap, cool. Right then. Now then, let's pop this down. I think it needs to be. No, I think I'm going to pop it over here. There seems to be more room over here. Right, there we go. And if you want to maybe change an angle, you can. Yeah, I think I will. Right, now then, let's do that. I'll zoom in. Okay, so in the iPad, I'm just going to pinch to zoom in like that. Brilliant. 3 dots, duplicate. Yep, and let's bring that down in the layer stack. 3 dots, duplicate. There we go. That's all I got room for, so I'm just going to have 3. Now, if I pick, Dom used the opacity. I thought that was a great idea, bringing down the opacity. You could even use the multiply and screen if you wanted to. That's quite cool.
The screen is good, actually. I like the screen.
You could go into the effects and into the filters. Okay, and all those filters we used on the photo are also here. So you could go and make it this one sepia if you wanted to. And maybe the one underneath. I'll go in again and I'll go and make this sepia as well. There we go. And maybe bring the intensity up on that.
So it's kind of like burnt in.
Yeah, like that. And when you've done that, you could then try, multiply and screen and see, does something like that work nice? There we go.
That's cool.
Quite happy with that.
Yeah, nice.
Got some fun textures going on there.
Yeah, very cool.
Now,
I tell you,
a little thing on that. If you do want this to look as if it's part of that original thing, remember your overlays. You may want to bring those above these letters. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So maybe if you do, just bring them up in the layer stack, and bring the scratches up above. And then it's just going to help that to blend in even. All right.
Very nice. Well, I'll show also what I did here. Is that
oh, he's got a glow.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it was nice. Yeah, so on the top of my D's here, so I basically gone like 25 opacity, 50 opacity, 75 opacity, and then this one's 100 opacity. But in there, I've gone into effects here, and then I've gone down to glow, and then you can also. Oh, did I put shadow? Was it a shadow?
Did you cut glow and then customize the color? Is it?
And then, yeah, I customized the color so it was white, so it kind of lifted off the page. And then you can play around with the blur, and you can see it's just doing crazy things, which I like, and change the angle and things like that, and the distance. But actually, the distance is good. That's a nice one. It really makes it go off the page. That's nice, and you can see it's a bit of a subtle effect, but it's lovely. Cool. Yeah, I know, it's great. Jones, you've done us an absolute treat there.
Oh,
well done. Yeah, excellent. And also, if you need to, you can download it again. If this new one is the one that you want to print, PDF print is good, and press download. It'll save to your computer. But also, you have already shared this. And so don't forget that your view only link, you see it says live down there. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
It says live. So what you'll need to do is you need to click that little arrow next to it, and you'll have an update link.
Oh, to add your signature, your monogram.
Exactly, to add your artist little monogram there. That's what you'll need to do to make sure that that link has your stamp on it. All righty, nice work. Well done, Jones.
Trez cool. Yes.
Yeah, very cool. That was one of our coolest ones, I think.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So remember, if this was your first summer live lesson, we have got the theme one we're going to be repeating next.
Want me to check?
Thursday. Next Wednesday is Wimbledon. So get registered. And then the only thing we've got left then is a repeat of this session the week after, I think, isn't it? So
yeah, absolutely.
Get registered for these final sessions of the school year. And do you know what? Exactly. You know what Dom and I did last week, this week? We've already been planning next term's live lessons. I know.
It's all kicking off. And don't forget to get involved with the Express School Challenge. You've only got a very small window now to get your swag and also to get your pizza. So get it in fast. Pizza before the end of term. What a better way to end this academic year. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure as always. And we'll see you next week for another end of year wrap and Wimbledon.